Long time ago in the north, there was a king called King Jamal. King Jamal was a very strong, peaceful, and one of the greatest kings of all time. But he was having problems getting a male child, and this made him marry more wives than he wanted. The first and second wife gave birth to only girls, and this made him seek for a third wife. Around this time, the king heard of the arrival of Mariam, the daughter of Halaji Hamid, who had just finished her studies and returned home. So he visited Halaji Hamid to ask for his daughter's hand in marriage. Halaji Ahmed asked him for some time to talk to his daughter. Soon after, Miriam agreed and she married King Jamal. 3 years later, Miriam could not conceive a child, and this made the king marry other wives. Anywhere she would go, people would talk and whisper about her. Some would outright call her barren, and this made her so sad that she would go home and cry out her eyes until she sleeps. But this did not stop the king from showing her equal love as other wives. He sometimes would go with her to different herbalists to know what the problem is. But all herbalists they went to always say Miriam is fine and would get pregnant at the right time. But 3 years has passed and still no sign of pregnancy. One morning, Miriam went to the stream because she found it therapeutic, and on her way back, she saw an older woman carrying a log, and with the look of it, the log was too heavy for her to carry. So she asked the woman if she needs help. The woman agreed, and Miriam took the log from her and followed the woman to her hut that was in the bush. When they got there, she asked the woman politely if she could stay with her for some time, which the old woman agreed because she saw how sad Miriam was and she might need someone to talk to. The old woman then asked her if she wanted to talk about what was bothering her. Miriam started sobbing and told the woman everything that she was going through. So after some time, when Miriam was ready to go back home, the old woman offered her a gift of two similar looking beads and told her that she would give birth to twins soon. And as soon as she gave birth to them, she should not close her eyes until she had worn the beads around the neck of both children. Marianne doubted in her heart that she would give birth anytime soon, but she took the beads, thanked the old woman, and left. After a few days, she went back to check up on the old woman, but could not see any hut at the same place. And she was sure that she was at the right place, but she concluded that maybe she forgot the actual location. Few months has passed after her interaction with the old woman. Miriam was now feeling strange and soon discovered that she was pregnant. She was so happy and informed her husband, the king, of her pregnancy. Soon it was close to her delivery time, and she felt like she was missing on something until she remembered about the old woman's gift. She took the beads and put them with her other delivery items. It's time for her delivery, and not long after, she gave birth to a boy and a girl. She loved them at first sight, and immediately the midwife had cleaned the babies, she wore them the beads and slept due to tiredness. While Miriam was sleeping, the first wife, Awa, came and ordered the midwife to give the boy to her. Immediately, the midwife knew what was going to happen to the child if she gives him to her. So she suggested that she would do away with the child herself. And Awa thought that that was a good idea. And with that, no one would suspect her. So she agreed with the midwife. But the midwife cannot kill the boy. Instead, she took him to a nearby village and put him where someone would see him and take care of him. When Miriam woke up hours later and couldn't find her son, and when she asked, she was told that the boy had died, but she knew that that was a lie. She cried and cried and cried for son until people gathered. Some believed that she had a son, but where is the son? They thought, while others believed that she was just seeking for attention. Meanwhile, a farmer saw the boy in his farm and took the child home and called him Farouk. Miriam was sad and mourned for her son for a few weeks, and she told herself to be happy that she still has Farida, her daughter. Farida grew up to be a very beautiful and intelligent girl just like her mother. She would spend most of her time with her father, learning words of wisdom and culture of the land. She has so much in common with her father, and this made the other wives and daughters jealous of the relationship she has with her father. While Farida was learning interesting things about their culture, herbs, wild fruits, and others, her sisters rather talk about new clothes and jewelries all day. When Farida was 21, she had a dream about a man that looked so much like her, and this confused her so much. So she went to her mother and explained her dream. Her mother too was confused, but they just hoped for something good could happen one day due to her lost brother. Over the years, Farouk is now a very handsome businessman. He has a commercial farm and rears livestock. He travels often to different places, either to buy new seeds, cow, and goat, or to sell his farm produce. Farouk acquired so much in a very young age. This made him very popular in the country. The king sent for him one day because he had heard so many nice things about him, and he wanted him to supply the palace with food produce. Few days later, Farouk came to the palace and he immediately felt like he belonged to this place. But he cannot put his hand on it, on the kind of feeling that he was having. At the same time, Farida was going to meet her father when she saw the man that has been in her dream, and she immediately decided to confront him once he was through with her father. When Farouk was ready to leave, she followed him, and when she was close enough, the bead which her mother gave her began to sparkle and vibrate. Same with that of Farouk. They brought out the beads and stared at each other, and then knew that the bead was no ordinary bead, and they planned to meet the next day. When they met, they talked about everything. When Farida found out that Farouk was around the same age as her and he has no real mother or father, and that his adoptive father told him that he found him in his farm, then they realized that the bead were made to bring them both together after many years. Farida then took Farouk to their mother, and when she saw him, she felt that this is her son. And when he showed her the beads, she recognized it immediately as the bead she was given by the old woman, which she had put around him before he went missing. But she still asked to be sure how he got the bead. Farouk explained that his father found him with the beads on his neck while he was abandoned by whoever dropped him in his farm. They all went to the king and explained everything to him. He was so angry and set for the midwife, immediately. And when she was told to confess everything that happened that day, and she did explain everything, including the role she played in it, the first wife, Awa, was called upon. And when she came, she noticed everything that's happening. She cried and begged for forgiveness. And when she was asked why she did what she did, she said she didn't want the king to love Miriam and her children more because she gave him a male child. The king was so angry but had control of his emotions. Hawa was sent packing out of the palace to never return. Days later, a big celebration was held in the palace to welcome the new prince, and everyone was happy. The moral lesson of this story is we should always learn to share in other people's happiness. We should leave grudges aside. It doesn't add any positive things to us. Number two, no condition is permanent. We should always try to be optimistic of everything that happens in our lives.